Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting Propagandacast from me, your host, Imperial Dane, Master Propaganda Hero, Psych Defender of the Fatherland, your Lord and Master. Off here to a 1 vs 1 on Simwaski between the South Guard here, Luoppis, fighting for the Oberkommandowest, Germany, taking on the role here of the 2nd SS Panzerdivision das Reich versus North. We got Dberlatto, fighting for America, freedom and democracy, holding off the line here against the Krauts, with the 2nd Infantry Division here with Armour Doctrine, or Armour Company. We got beaten choice of assault engineers, so this is all starting out here as a rather sort of, offstandish. Also unusual. We got fortifications, spec ops, and overwatch here for Luoppis with infantry, Sturmpanier, and Jagdpanther bulletins. We're all in for Dberlatto with an assault engineer start. Very interesting. You rarely see those. It's not like the assault engineers are bad. It's just rifle tends in many cases do the job a bit better. But on a map with sort of closer quarters, they do offer some advantage there with the submachine guns, the flamethrowers, and of course the options for laying down mines and even demo charges. We got Kuban on the way there for Luoppis to support his initial infantry pushes. Noting, by the way, he's going for the centre first. Not aiming for the resources. Could give Dberlatto here a bit of an edge in the early game as he's actually heading for the fuel. Sturmpanier is quickly falling back. There's Rifleman open up with a righteous fire. And there's a bit of back and forth here. The assault engineers moving up there. Assault engineers, by the way, sort of more of a specialist unit within the American army. And sort of battalions where they're attached wherever needed. That's a little fun fact there. They're not like, say, the German pioneers, which are very much sort of like them, and just an organic part of any infantry, Panzer Division, Panzergun Division, and so on. So there's a bit of a sort of difference there in army organisation. You also had more regular engineers, which could also, of course, weren't quite, as good as infantry, and so were also in some cases pushed into combat. But there we go. He's going straight for the Kopfhorn up north. As we can see, Luoppis is very aggressive, sort of hitting against Dberlatto. We got Fulton start the church there, holding off against the armies. 2nd Full Squad moving up. They've got the Kuban then securing territory on the south, but they got aggressive play there by Luoppis, very aggressive. But at the same time, Dberlatto not sitting back either, aiming actually for assault engineers. I mean, that's also a clear indicator. He wants to play aggressively as well. So we got 2 players here with aggressive intentions. Sounding a bit unusual here. Sneaking about here, he's hiding up there. I'm really liking this. Again, Luoppis is clearly not your average Oberkommandowest player. And the Americans go, God damn, where's them Krauts, them Nazis? We're not Nazis. Where was that? Shh, we're just a bush. Alright, just a bush. Whew, can't trust them Nazis. But those bushes, you can always trust a bush. That's my motto. Anyways, more rifling away there for Dberlatto. Volkswagens arriving there for Luoppis. So we got 3 Volkswagens, 1 Sturmpanier squad, Kuhwagen versus 2 Riflemen, the 3rd on the way, plus the assault engineers. Luoppis yet to go for a doctrine, and he's just hiding up there with the Sturmpaniers. I mean, this is, one of those more wondrous things of the true sight system. And, those things you generally see again where someone harasses, then hides away nicely, and your opponent sort of never decides to check. Luoppis, you're a true German hero. Anyways, going for the road point, cut-off point here. More riflemen arriving, and there goes Sturmpaniers hit down to hit the cut-off point again and harass Dberlatto. And he's going to be like, God damn, those bushes, they lied to me. I have been humiliated. Anyways, Fulton are going in there for the cut-off point in the west. Sturmpaniers falling back. Will Dberlatto react in time again? Will he finally find the culprits, or will he once more be left flabbergasted and unclear as to where the Germans come from? Fulton is rifling here, finding by the western cut-off point. Now, in this case, he does pop out there, revealing himself to the rifle. Perhaps Luoppis got impatient. Either way, in this case, the surprise, to an extent, is probably can still do some damage to the rifle, but he's pretty much sort of at this point also revealed where he was hiding, so I'm not sure that was the... Well, we'll see, how great a job it was. He's still done some damage there, economically he's done some harm there to Dberlatto, but he can't really maintain that one for much longer, and of course, there's the question, of course, how much longer would he do it, but still, he's doing some damage there to Dberlatto, he's doing some damage. Fulton find those riflemen there in the west. Mines going down the cut-off point as well, keeping up the pressure there against Dberlatto and the 2nd Infantry. Grabbing the point here, and we got a battle group headquarters up here in the center of the map. Aggressive setup too there. In theory, if Dberlatto gets up around, he can just shoot at it easily and take it out there. So, very risky move there by Luoppis in some ways. Again, it's bold, but also with a high reward because, again, if he can sort of maintain a decent position there, again, he can be very strong in the center of the map. So, it's sort of a high risk, high reward sort of thing there for Luoppis. Still no doctrine for him. He's stolen a flamethrower there, so he actually had an Assault squad there, of course, upgraded, and then he lost it. That's a bit of a win there for Luoppis, and he's getting a flamethrower there, Flammenwerfer. And here we can see mine goes off, killing only the poor Jack. The rest will make it through, but the Sturmparts continue onwards. Let's probably hit the fuel point next. Luoppis following up with an MG34 to support his frontline Truppen. Choose my way towards here. We got medics on the way so he can heal, in particular these Volkskundiges. I'm in desperate need of healing. Otherwise, the Luoppis is maintaining good early pressure here versus Dberlatto. I mean, again, he's been nicely maneuvering against Dberlatto, to be honest. He's been nicely maneuvering. M20 following up there for Dberlatto, rifle push back there. Medics almost done, cover point there, taken. And Kuban here doing a bit of action. Got a lieutenant out there for Dberlatto. Obviously, with M20, that also means there's a lieutenant. And he's almost got the northern fuel point there. He could lay down some mines further, make it a bit difficult there for Dberlatto to secure it. Kuban falling back for repairs for now. And there you go, folks, because they're being healed up. Finally receiving some valuable medical attention. Nothing further going on there for Luoppis. He'll probably need a Raketenwerfer to help deal with that M20. He'll probably need a Raketenwerfer. And he's going to lay down march against spot here with the M20 and then pushed away. Need to retreat. Mortar on the way for Dberlatto to help bomb out there Luoppis of the centre of the map. Not a bad idea at all there. Fultz moving ahead. The umpires could risk his chance to wipe there unless the Fultz managed to cut off there with a Panzerfaust too. But there you go, he's going for the Raketenwerfer now. Fultz going to disadvantage him continually there. And there you go, the M20 swiftly falls back in the face of such notable anti-tank firepower, at least for an M20 utility car. Rifle sting through here. Going points here, but overall Luoppis they're maintaining aggressive pressure there at Dberlatto still, but Dberlatto of course with the M20 has a bit more mobility to react to all of Luoppis' plays. So that'll certainly help him a lot here. Folks they're fighting against Waffen, getting some good kills in with a flamethrower. And the MG34 suppressing those armies. So stealing that flamethrower turned out to be quite helpful there for the Luoppis. Quite helpful. And we got a doctoral choice. It is fortification. 2nd SS receiving orders to dig in and prepare. We just hold the area instead of preparing for further advances as opposed to an extent. Panzerfaust on the M20 there, damaging it. Virtually 2 on the full Grenadiere. Mortar hammering away at the house with Infos 4 setting up. The lieutenant taking staggering losses as they're enveloped in pure American fire, wielded by the Krauts. Kuberwagen there, halfway to Veterans 1. Luoppis securing a large chunk of the map there, moving up towards the point again, and the Furiations defending it valiantly. Or more likely just exhausted, having, moved all the way over there and taken it, only to be repulsed by a bunch of angry Krauts. Back here, Raketenwerfer moving up. Fort retreat point as well here for Luoppis, further sort of cementing his control of the centre of the map here against Dberlatto and the 2nd Infantry Division. Nothing further going on the base here, and for Luoppis, nothing further either. He could soon be taking up though, and of course might be planning that. And the aggressive tech rush there versus Dberlatto could in fact prove fruitful again, due to that early aggressive harassment around the core point here again. That I think proved quite helpful there for Luoppis versus Dberlatto. Got the point there secured. We got a bit of fighting in south there. Kuberwagen versus Rifleman. Ambulance on the way there for Dberlatto to patch up his men mangled by German firepower. And there go M20 strikes to the Volkskundiges as they try to take the northern fuel point. Raketenwerfer is in the centre. They're expecting them to hit their Volkskundiges taking up position in the house. M20 can deal with that. It's going to take ages, in particular since it's not been upgraded. The bullets can actually harm it, so Dberlatto will be forced to fall back from that job in the longer run. Slow approach here into the centre of the map. Rifle holding up the house, but already in a depleted state. Mortar setting up support. MG34 they're forced to retreat, but again, not exactly a long retreat thanks to the Belgian headquarters. So even then, Dberlatto is not relieving himself of a lot of pressure in the centre. We got riflemen from the north. This is where again assault units with flamethrowers, but great if he hadn't lost them previously, at which point he could probably have a better chance of burning out some of Luoppis' positions. Up north here, folks, continue to be a nuisance there for Dberlatto. Luoppis clearly making good use of terrain there versus Dberlatto. Sturmpionier advancing. That's a pretty bad move there by Luoppis, and he seems to realise and quickly fall back. In fact, Rifleman sneaking up behind the church cause more problem, and there's a high likelihood of losing the Sturmpioneers since they're desperately retreating here towards the Bell Group headquarters. Need to quickly pull behind it, Stroke get into cover, Rifleman up there. Oh, it's about to lose them! Luoppis, 9! Die Sturmpioniere. Wiped. Quite a loss there for Luoppis. Dberlatto again doing some nice counter moves versus Luoppis. Both players here displaying some good footwork. I think versus the other one. Rather almost wiped up. Up north here, we've got the fans of fast M20. Oh dear, Dberlatto. He wasn't paying attention again. They weren't upgraded. Again, the M20 not upgraded. Can be harmed by bullets. Can be harmed by bullets. And combined with the Panzerfaust, that's a lot of trouble. But there you go. Charging force there, taking up as we've got more folks arriving here. It's going to have to retreat the vehicle crew. And then incendiary grenade off as well. And this is quickly turning a bit ugly there for Dberlatto. So he needs to make gains in the center. At least does some damage there. He loses the M20 and the fuel point. As long as Luoppis, though, decides not to, build a bunker here, though it shouldn't be too much of a loss for long term. And if he decides to bunker down here, that could be a big problem for Dberlatto. And oh dear, looks like he's bunkering up. Yep, indeed. Luoppis then next making good use of the fortifications doctrine, which is again quite impressive. Well, sort of impressive, in the same way you impress someone does something you should have been doing all along, but or most other players should have been doing. I mean, obviously he's doing it, so again, I'm sort of impressed. And he's clearly over here above the average Oberkommando West player. So bunker up here. Need to add the MG42 there. Second try around, that'll probably be the spare punted course. We'll try and imagine set up around here to sort of cover, though again, if he doesn't want to far ahead, because again, it's going to be an easy target for Dberlatto then. Overall, the Luoppis here, very good control now versus Dberlatto again. Good use of his infantry to maneuver about there. Volsker's wiped those. Now, you see there's some issues with Luoppis. Again, he struggles a bit to maintain sort of control of it all at times, it seems. And this is where Dberlatto then gets in some good wipes versus Luoppis. So he's got a lot of the map there, but again, he suffered quite heavy infantry losses, so he needs to sort of follow up with some heavy infantry, some Obersoldaten, and certainly some armor at some point. Would also think be a pretty good choice for Luoppis there versus Dberlatto. Of course, Dberlatto having gone for armor to make use of it. I mean, it doesn't feel so bad if he's not going to say go for the M10, which he's likely to go for at least initially, because I mean he's going to be otherwise very vulnerable to enemy armor. But up north here, we've got Volsker's bunker and Lykenna if you're holding back any infantry, and of course any armor as well there. I mean, Luoppis at this point pretty much expecting Dberlatto to launch several assaults here on the northern fuel punch, get it back, and he's of course expecting vehicles. That's why he's moving up Lykenna for there. We'll have to see what Dberlatto does, if he takes the bait or what. He's gone for a 50 cavalry support, modifying the MD-35 around the centre, and again he can just easily retreat it. In this case, it's too late. He's disengaged and now re-engaged. Schwerpanzer quarters almost done up for Luoppis. Might want to retreat those chaps. Harassment in the east. S-Man's going down there as well. Further making use of the doctrine. Splendid. Splendid work there by Luoppis. Bazookas, BARs up there for Dberlatto's men. Liked his infantry shots there for Luoppis. Mortar fire, 50 cal fire there. Not really having much of an impact there against the battle group headquarters, slightly scratching it. But not exactly something that's going to really, I think, worry Luoppis. And there go flanks for the forces and the flamethrower here against Dberlatto's positions. Very good work there. Sensing an opportunity, he seized it with fire and more fire. And here we go, units pushed back. Troops being halted here by the MG34. Nice attempt here by flank-through, but again, you don't think he was expecting a machine gun bunker. I mean, most players, don't do that. So in that regard, I mean, Luoppis there, rather again, is in part, just ruling through the power of the unexpected, the power of surprise, which is certainly quite a powerful, power if you can wield it correctly. And so far, Luoppis is making good use of it, but again, he needs to work with his unit preservation so he can sort of maintain it better, because, I mean, losing that much infantry, for example, so quickly can be a bit of a problem, can somewhat negate the 80 shoot, otherwise going through surprise attacks like that one, and for that matter, a surprise bunker. All the points are secured. Folks are advancing again with flamethrowers. Incendiary grenade as well. Troops are pressed, but at the same time they're a bit exposed. They should pop back into cover before he gets the murder. I mean, it would be quite a waste of Luoppis for his veteran 5 Volksburg one. Again, I mean, most of the units are round veteran 2, but thanks to that flamethrower and probably some damage to some other vehicles again, he's got veteran 5 Volksgrenadiers already. So I mean, it would be Absolutely horrifying move there for Luoppis to then throw them away. Of course, it'd be great for Dberlatto, but for Luoppis, terrible. Luoppis here could go for a Panzer IV, could also go for the Panther if he wants to. Meanwhile, Dberlatto here bringing up more artillery, another mortar here. Academy back here to support the empty bunker there in the north, and here, second mortar arrives. We also got the captain out for Dberlatto, bazookas, and probably wants to call in some anti-tank guns because he's probably imagining Luoppis is going to go for some kind of tank, in which case an anti-tank gun will prove quite helpful. Dberlatto, though, I think is actually finding quite well here versus Luoppis. Almost against trying to avoid. He's not just, throwing his men senselessly in there versus Luoppis. So he's playing some good tactical sense there. Moving up here, slowly approaching. I mean, if he can get into the house here without getting shot by the machine gun bunker, and he can, he just needs to get up on the edge here, sneak up here, hit in there, he can bazooka it to death. Which of course likely the weakness of this position, but again it does require a bit of situational awareness which Dberlatto is displaying. Still, he has been able to hold that fuel point for quite a bit and deny Dberlatto a lot of fuel points, so that machine gun bunker just in his own presence is actually quite worth it, because again it's just given Luoppis here such a fuel lead over Dberlatto, and again he's able to go for a Panther at 16 minutes, which is pretty difficult for the Oberkommando to do. But here we are again. Thanks to the solid lead there by Luoppis, he's now going for a Panther. Good lord. And good work. Return there being suppressed by the MD-34. Panther halfway down, full scales advancing there. 20 kills already. Mortar fire, light infantry gun fire. Grenades off as well over Dberlatto, who's actually researched grenades. Hello. He's probably realised again this sense he can't, again try and outtake his opponent. Again, he's just so far bound fuel, so he's going to try and push an advantage where he knows he has it, with his infantry again. Luoppis hasn't been really placing his troops, he hasn't been upgrading them a lot either, meaning if Dberlatto pushes his infantry edge, he might have a chance of negating, how much of the armour Luoppis can build, because the tank doesn't have any support. It'll be a lot less effective. So Dberlatto, I think, is actually making a pretty shrewd assessment of the situation and doing his best with it. So a very good play there by Dberlatto, flanking about through here, and of course the grenades again just gives him more shock value, more power on every single flank versus Luoppis, and there go, wipes light infantry gun crew, silencing what little artillery Luoppis does have. Of course now there's a Panther on the field, so obviously Dberlatto is going to have some issues and problems on his hand. Pin up machine, that would be a great choice for the Panther. Rearson signing about here, and they are not equipped for it. Quickly, fire the bazooka! That's a minesweeper! Oh. There we go. Rearson pushed back there by the Panther, the Panzerkampfwagen 5. Rifle moving up here. Kedma falls wiped out, trying to recruit, but taking a lot of fire there. Recruiting the light infantry gun. Again, he can reinforce it so the extent can work up, but on the other hand, if he gets pinned down, he just takes losses. It can lead to quite an inordinate exsanguination here. Exsanguination for Luoppis, which will only benefit Dberlatto. And of course, he's got two mortars. He can actually do a lot of damage. You get the 50 caliber though with some light infantry gun fire. Panther moving ahead though, pinned up machine away as well. And in this regard, right now though, Dberlatto does have a bit of a tactical issue. He doesn't have any anti-tank weapons here. And once the Panther gets the pin up machine gun, it's going to be a real problem for Dberlatto, because there you go, extra add-in anti-infantry. Going to try and probably crush some, but otherwise just machine gun them to death and whatnot. Right here, Dberlatto has a bit of a problem. He's finally got an anti-tank gun out. His captain can also upgrade with a bazooka, but as some of you might be noticing, they're not there. A lot of the infantry, but our anti-tank weapons, on the other hand, are. So right here, Luoppis pulls through with the power of the Panther. And again, has a sizable element on the field. He would actually quickly fill up with a Panzer IV to support the Panther, and that way, just further establish dominance versus Dberlatto. On the other hand, should probably consider calling in an M10 tank destroyer soon, but even then, that's going to struggle a bit versus the Panther. Fulton advancing, getting shredded out in the open. More anti-tank rifle grenades here, finding their pushed off here, but the 3 planted quarters, grabbing the point here, laying down mines there. Good work by Luoppis. Good work, and we got a Kubwagen all abandoned and forgotten down there by Luoppis. 5 kills in the Panther, almost got a rifle squad there wiped. Dberlatto does need to be careful with any sort of losses like that, because then he'd lose his infantry edge very quickly. And that would definitely mean Luoppis wins easily. But again, as long as he can maintain all this infantry, Dberlatto should still have a good chance of winning, because again, Luoppis doesn't. Luoppis needs to build more infantry. He needs to rebuild his infantry forces, because otherwise his tanks aren't going to be much worth it. That's definitely something Luoppis needs to do fast. Otherwise, you know, again, decent use to do some of the elements of the doctrine there by Luoppis. Trenches, maybe. Tank traps, maybe. But, you know, pack for the field. Howitz would actually be pretty good. Sit around here, can then support his forces further, and act against silencing some of the American mortars pretty aggressively. Captain heading through the Esplanade field, and there go wiped. And church collapsed, but there was no units in, I think. Or the rest of the MD-34 that actually got wiped. Might actually been annihilated. Better loss there for Luoppis then. And the 2nd SS Panzerdivision Das Reich. The South East Kuban doing a bit of harassment now. The captain has been absolutely exploded. And of course, we see a bit of a problem for Luoppis again. The lack of Sturmpaniers means he's got no way of paying his Panther. He's setting out a mechanized regiment, so he probably wants to set up some repair paniers to fix the Panther. Might also be planning for a King Tiger. I mean, again, he's got a lead, so a King Tiger right now would be a bad idea, but I think a regular Panther spawn from Sturmpaniers to just repair pioneers, there you go, would be, I think, a rather good choice there for Luoppis overall, just in terms of just momentum versus Dberlatto. Again, the King Tiger would be a very big loss for momentum, which certainly give Dberlatto more chance of getting back into the game. So that's something that Luoppis needs to be mindful of. Dberlatto, though, needs to bring up some tank destroyers soon. There we go, Obersoldaten for Luoppis. Obersoldaten. I'm getting snapped there by the Panther machine gun up. He's going for the bulldozer, Sherman. He's not going for the Wolverine. What is this? He's going for tank destroyers. Or perhaps he realises if we just isolate the Panther further and just ignore it to an extent, he could probably just render it less important. I mean, the Panther's still powerful, obviously, even versus infantry, but without infantry support, it is a bit less, again, potent further on, and particularly can't take points, for example. So that's an interesting approach. Even steals the light infantry gun their way from Luoppis. Again, the lack of infantry really means he can't maintain a strong front line versus Dberlatto. Again, he's got plenty of infantry. Again, well-equipped infantry. So a bit of a difference there. And Dberlatto's basically pushing the edge he's got as much as possible, which is the infantry murdering edge. Very interesting choice here. Very interesting choice. Very interesting decision-making there by Dberlatto. And there you go. Wrecks the battle group headquarters. Actually now annihilating Luoppis' frontline position. Again, removing the edge he had there, because again, he didn't have enough infantry to maintain it. So a strategic error there by Luoppis. Again, has been playing nicely, and again maneuvering nicely, but again, if you can't maintain it, it's not going to matter for too long. And there you go, the Obersoldaten, S-mines down here, could also lay down booby traps. Southern point being secure. We can see Dberlatto's being a lot more bolder here versus Luoppis. 2nd Infantry spearheading the assault. Got the Sherman rolling about there. Not really doing a lot of damage, but threatening it. And he's also mortaring now the Schwerpanzer corps again. Luoppis is in a lot of trouble right now. Again, his force is actually smaller now again. Lack of infantry. And Dberlatto's going in very aggressively, but also at the same time not recklessly. And again, he knows what he wants to do. He wants to wreck Luoppis' infrastructure. So Dberlatto here playing very intelligently about this. Remained cool and calm. And is now really beginning to punish Luoppis. Again, Luoppis clearly also a sharp tactician, but strategically he might not be quite as on firm ground as Dberlatto. Again, might not be as tactically sound or as astute, I would say, you know, ambidextrous. I'm not entirely sure what I'm looking for there, but I was, you know, not quite on the same level. But again, can just strategically outplay Luoppis. So I mean, there's some things there. Some interesting differences. He got the spare punch, of course. He lost the bulldozer Sherman, but on the other hand, again, he prevented Luoppis from getting more armor easily and getting more elite infantry easily. So, I mean, that also works out there. On the other hand, Luoppis is still getting a lot of fuel, so it's not too bad, but he does need to be mindful of that. And he's setting up a battle group headquarters. I mean, again, he's practically lost almost the entire thing except the mechanized regiment headquarters. Interesting enough, he could, you know, try and set up for the King Tiger if he wanted to, but he's actually taking back up there. He wants the battle group headquarters, though he should still get some infantry. And of course, he needs to be careful with what Dberlatto's got on the field there. And of course, keep the Panther supported properly. 9 killed, South 8 to veterans who won. Infantry advancing. Obersoldaten here need to take position up in the house if they want to defend here, because, I mean, That's a lot better than a, branch. A lot better than a bloody branch. Also provides them a better line of sight. There you go, rather than advancing. Also, they won't be too close to the S-mines, which could then, of course, hurt them. There you go. Pops into the... Oh, he doesn't. Seems to be not a fan of it. In this case, Bates hit the rifle almost. Really close there, really close there. Good machine gun fire there. Almost got them wiped there. More pressure here as Dberlatto advances through the ruins of the village. Past the burning cinders of the church. Panther firing back. Forces moving up to the Flammenwerfer and the incendiary grenades. Going to clear out the anti-tank gun. Mortar fire raining down. But Kevin if they're close being flanked out. Orbs on defend the north, but he needs more infantry support here in the centre. He's also ticked up for Dutch. Is he going to rebuild the Schwerpanzer quarters? That would be highly unusual for an Oberkommando West players again. Instead, again, most of them would just go for a King Tiger at this stage. He's actually building all of his lost tracks. I mean, Luoppis is clearly not your average Oberkommando West player. For good, and in some cases they're a bit bad, since the most average Oberkommando West players would be a lot better at maintaining their infantry levels, which is actually quite vital for the Oberkommando West health. Basically, for any army, again, you need proper infantry. But for the Oberkommando West, you really just need more infantry in general. A bit like the Soviets, you generally need more like 4 infantry squads at all times. And right now, Luoppis is definitely under strength. It is very much the advantage of Dberlatto at the moment. Got the M10 tanks throughout here. The Wolverine, though, where the name Wolverine came from, no one really knows. As a fun fact. Ooh, right from there, taking losses in the S-mine fields, as well. Could be well up there for Dberlatto if he's not careful. Panther being swamped, needs to pull back towards safer lines, back towards infantry support, anti-tank opening up. M10 moving in there. Quick losing the Panther here. Scheiße. Shots bouncing off the 80mm slope armor, blitzing where the kid opening up in the rear of the M10. Got the anti-tank gun as well. Ooh. Some really tense action here. Almost got it. And M10 shoots, misses. Panther spots and knocks it out. The crew goes flying. Walter is forever lost in the dark, murky river of Sumoski, never to be found again until hundreds of years later by a confused archaeologist. But Luoppis desperately needs more infantry. Desperately. He's setting up the Schwerpanzer corps now to defend the southern field. But interesting setup. I mean, Luoppis overall just not playing like your average Oberkommando West player at all, and again he's doing kind of well. Oh, we got finally more infantry away there for Luoppis. His forces pushing through here again. Vetri 5 flamethrowers. They're pretty much one of the few units I think that's really carrying at the moment. Again, that flamethrower has just been a huge problem for Dberlatto. Huge. I'm sure he's regretting it deeply, time after time. Even once this battle over, he was just sort of waking up in the middle of the night and just going, that flamethrower, no. As it haunts him like a spectre. Anyways, what's the advancing needs to pull the back soon though? They are, pushing the arc, and again they are up against stubble American mortars, which could very well in this state completely wipe them if he's not careful. But there you go, pushing them back. Panther moving in as well here. 17 kills for the fatherland. Quick run hunt gone out against the re-echelon crew. 50 cover, they're pushing back the Volksgrenadiers. Luoppis just still needs more infantry. Anti-tank that gets a good hit there. Need to pull back the Panther bazooka fire there. Quick blitz there. Luoppis is taking no chances. But he needs more infantry desperately. Ever so desperately. Troops there reinforcing, healing. Kugelwagen here forgotten again by Luoppis. I mean, you could also try and go for a Panther Force supports Panthers enough. That would certainly help some versus the infantry. Also further sort of help versus any armor call instead from Dberlatto. So I mean, Panther 4 could also be an idea, but ultimately though, he needs more infantry. He needs one more infantry squad. I would certainly recommend some Oberstgarden here against something a bit heavier. I mean, he's at least gotten a wipe than Dberlatto though, who needs to replace those infantry losses by the way as well. But again, he is taking a 3 infantry squad for the lieutenant there, so can sort of pull it off as the Americans. But generally, I would recommend a bit more than that. still, they're overall more veteran and better equipped than Luoppis' men. So, I mean, he's got the edges there. And of course, he's got a lot more artillery with the 2 mortars and the Sterling light infantry gun. Panther moving in, but again, a lack of infantry support. There's something needs to be mindful of. Moving north here, it's Orbital Darden Raketenwerfer. Folks, they're supporting the Panther. In this case, look to ride out the infantry. Good move. And here in the south, you have Panther's quarters number 2 revealed. I'm sure that's a surprise to Dberlatto. I mean, you generally don't see them build a second one. And certainly not, you know, far off from when the first one was built like Luoppis did. So, I mean, Luoppis is really used a bit of an enigma amongst Oberkommando West players in that sense. I mean, he's definitely not your by-the-meta player. There's definitely a lot more independent thought from him, which again makes him a lot more interesting to watch, for sure. And allows for a lot more interesting maneuvers. He's now going for the Stukas of Fuster. Again, he's probably again worried about all of this until it do up Dberlatto again. The light infantry gun, the 2 mortars. I mean, Dberlatto can really hammer his infantry hard, so I mean, he does need to silence it. I mean, obviously one off to be just Jurassic with the armor and for the Panzer IV some infantry, but he's going for the Stukas of Fuster here. Also note, Luoppis here taking no chances, keeping like Kenneth nearby to the Orbital to allow them to harass up north here, so again, Luoppis is clearly thinking through a lot of these things here. And again, his unit preservation at times is what seems to be sort of struggling. Rather than getting blasted, folks need to be careful here. Damage into the Panther, they need to get that one back. The guy anti-tank, he's got 2 anti-tank guns now actually. And there goes shots fired, needs to get the up there, but again he's got a little left. Stukas fires, rockets unleashed. Oh, he might be good in a lot of things, but apparently he's still suffering from one issue a lot of Oberkommando players suffer from, which is the absolutely terrible with, and his Panther now suffered extraordinary damage from the bazookas. The anti-tank is not helping up north. The Orbital push back here, needs to retreat like Ken, desperately needs to get the Panther back to the base for repairs. Problem is, of course, the make repair pioneers up here, so he needs to train a Sturm pioneer squad. Oh no. What are you doing? Luoppis! Nine! Oh, he's going to try and pull it up there, and he's also going to shoot infantry, signalling to Dberlatto by sending his Panther. Ah, critical. Mistake there by Luoppis. Critical. The anti-tank guns are nearby, and there he goes, trying to pull it back again, but it might not be in time. Oh no! Oh! She lost the Panther. Critical error there by Luoppis. Critical error. Huge loss. He's going for another Stukas of Fuss now. Have you lost your mind, Luoppis? You don't need a second Stukas of Fuss. Turn up your opponent to go for armor. There you go. He cancels it. Another bulldozer showing out him again. He's just taken out the Panther, so. Oh, that's a big loss there for Luoppis. Big loss. It was actually towards Vetchi, to make its way towards Vetchi 2 even. So right there, I mean, he even lost the Mechanized Regiment. Overall again, risky setup there, risky setup. In this case, he also got punished for that one. So we can see now, Dberlatto, having had a rough start, is actually slowly stabilizing again. Basically, you know, just utilizing infantry very intelligently there versus Luoppis. Forces them moving ahead. Panther almost done. Like having assaulted. We got the bulldozer there rolling ahead. Orbals of that moving ahead there as well. Stukas was fire again, and this time actually did some killing there. Got 6 kills. That's better. That's a lot better. Panther almost done there for Luoppis, so it's basically rushing out just any kind of medium armor. So that way, pressure Dberlatto. Again, it's going to be a bit problem there if his opponent then goes for an M10. Of course, again, the resource wise, I mean, he's been able to keep him off there, so he can't easily go for an M10 now. So he might just work out there, at least for a bit there for Luoppis. They might be forced, of course, to go for a Yak Panther then to quickly support it. Oh wait, Panther 4 advancing. Not enough. Well, he just needs to be in territory to actually upgrade the Panther 4 with a pin MD42. All the way rolling ahead, they're ramping out in the open, spotted and under fire, and there we go, anti-tank and responds brutally. More infantry on the way there for Luoppis. Good, good. Academy for creeping up here on the bulldozer Sherman. Also noting Dberlatto is now ahead of Luoppis in terms of victory point. Again, Luoppis is beginning to fall behind Dberlatto. He's beginning to fall behind, and notably there's again Luoppis needs to sort of reorganise his thoughts a bit there, improve his preservation a bit, and reconsider his strategy a bit, I think, as well. There go Panzer pulling it straight into the second anti-tank, and there from Dberlatto. The Fulton trying to clear out the first one, but we got there the Bulldogs coming to cover. 50 caliber there. We're kind of getting hit in the Sherman. Panzer IV pulling back for now. He's going to go for another mechanized regiment. He's going to go for Sturm Pioneers. Oh, lost them! The Vetchney 5, the heroes. Ah, he lost them. A big loss there for Luoppis. Massive. That is a mountain of a problem there for Luoppis, losing his Vetchney 5 soldiers with the flamethrower. They really did a lot for him here. They did a lot for him, and losing them is a massive loss there again. Not just because again lost an infantry squad, but he just lost his Vetchney 5 infantry squad. And there you go, Luoppis going for the mechanized regiment, rather than this occurring the flamethrower. Orbs on opening up, Vetchney 2. They need to be careful, otherwise they're going to get wiped. Quick grenade. Stuka's fires, probably going to try and hit some targets and silence them permanently, and oh! Got the light infantry gun, got the mortar. Almost got a rifle squad as well there, getting veterans who won, so not a bad barracks there. The very first one might be a complete whiff, but he's clearly improving his artillerymanship. We also got a machine gun bunker just to cover the cutoff point there from Luoppis. An interesting setup there as well. Forces there being pushed back by the lieutenant, valiantly defending the central victory point from the Germans. Got the Panzer IV advancing, hitting the northern field point there with the Volksgrenadier with the Sturmgewehrs. Fun fact, Volksgrenadier was sort of one of the first units to really see any sort of large organisation involving assault rifles in the forces. Another element, though, would have been the Panzer Grenadiers in the Panzer Brigades, as another fun fact there. Later on, that was sort of, filtered down to regular Panzer Grenadiers in Panzer Divisions, but until then, sort of those Panzer Brigade, Panzer Grenadiers, and the Volksgrenadiers were sort of the first ones to really sort of see any sort of larger organisation using the Sturmgewehr. Bulldozer they're rolling ahead. Luoppis is Panzer IV in good need of repairs, mechanized regiment up there. Over there, taking hits from the Bulldozer Sherman, 105mm. Note, by the way, 105mm Sherman would not necessarily be equipped with a Bulldozer just like that. But, generally, there was about, I think, like 2 of those per battalion to sort of support there, part of the headquarters unit, so that way be attached wherever needed. They're basically there for dealing with sort of dug-in units and the likes. In that sense, it was like the Stu 42 actually, just there to provide support. Few upon there being retaken. Few casualties there due to S-mines. Need to be careful not to set off the rest. They could be full white there. That would be pretty nasty there for Dberlatto. And Luoppis, of course, just needs to get out more infantry. Stukas was could fire again around here. Maybe sort of look for some more critical hits there against Dberlatto and the 2nd Infantry. He's engaging here, so trying to damage the Schwerpanzer's quarters. There you go, Stukas was firing again. And there you go, silencing one of the anti-tank guns. Almost got another one there. 16 kills, Orbs on advancing, they push back support crews. Panzer IV then supporting here the Orbs of Darden. I need to retreat the Orbs of Darden immediately. Breaking the anti-tank in, good job. And what you're noticing there, by the way, is a bit of a weird butt that's going on with the mortar crews. I don't know why, but for a reason they sort of want to stick the skin team to sort of, get the crew. And that causes those weird things to happen. 10 there, being murdered. We got more Fulton with there for Luoppis. But this is more infantry for Luoppis and the 2nd SS. Panzer IV, they're roaming about, closing in on Veteran 2-1. Stukas and Fussels, by the way, were generally part of either Panzer Brigade or Panzer Divisions. They're generally not found anywhere else, and not sort of organised independently or anything. They're generally part of a Panzer Division's Panzer Pioneer unit, in which case they've been part of the Heavy Company. So it's got an M10, a Bulldozer Sherman here now, versus the 1 Panzer IV there from Luoppis. And he's rebuilt a lot of his infrastructure, but then it also cost him a lot of fuel in theory. He could have gone for the King Tiger, but perhaps he figured, that'd be silly, I just, want to do something else. But certainly, going for the King Tiger could have maybe given some initial strength, but again, it would have hurt his infrastructure, he wouldn't be able to easily support it. So instead, he basically built all of it, which he lost again because of his very aggressive setup of everything. So that's a very rare move from an Oberkommando S player, and it seems to be somewhat working out for him. Again, he can actually now replace his armoured losses better, and of course, get out more Obersoldaten if needed. Might want to harass this fuel put up north again. Again, deny Dberlatto as much fuel and of course gain as much fuel himself. But setting up here for a southern push with the full Skanadire. Oh, the Kedmith has spotted, and that's going to get whacked here by Dberlatto's GIs. Stukas fires, close quarters barrage, I believe. Yes, trying to catch him in this case, not quite working out. A bit top is I think there for Luoppis. And almost losing it to the bazookas of the vehicle group. On the other hand, the vehicle group is almost smoked down by the Obersoldaten. And, grenade off against the Obersoldaten. Veteran fleet gained, but they need to retreat. They're in a bad spot. And there's a lot of Americans. But there you go, machine gun bug here, providing covering fire for the Obersoldaten. Panzer IV advances as well, and soon Luoppis could go for another one. But I'd still recommend the Jagdpanzer. Artillery fire here being called in on the road here. Communication road into the village here, but I'm also trying to knock out the bunker there. I'm getting slowly crushed into the Panzer IV. Fulton's joining in as well, and more action in the far east. Bunker down. Fulton's almost wiped out by the artillery. Clearly Luoppis is trying to manage too much, and there goes lost the Fulton squad. So again, you can see there's a bit of an issue here for Luoppis. Besides occasionally strategy, is again he seems to have some issues. Just at times just overreaching, at which point he begins losing a lot of things. So unit preservation is definitely something he needs to be careful with, but also just overreach. Oh! Ah, that could have been a knocked out. Stukas was maybe in the Panzer IV. That would have been GG right then and there for Luoppis. But he's lost another infantry squad here again. He went in very aggressively, but again with no sort of real exit plan for a lot of the infantry. In some cases, just wasn't paying attention. He just quickly lost a lot there. So he needs to be careful there, Luoppis, and certainly needs more armour out soon. And there you go. Need to retreat the first kind of these before the Bulldozer Sherman lands a lucky hit, but he's really intent on clearing out that light infantry gun time and time again. Interesting enough, he also never salvaged that Panther for a bit of extra fuel. Bit surprised at that. That could have been, been maybe a bit faster Panzer IV, maybe a Panther Jagdpanzer or something like that. But he's not aiming for a Jagdpanzer by the looks of it. And he's going for another Panther IV. That could work, but certainly would be a bit risky as well. Trying to silence all the artillery they've got at the same time in pursuit there by the Bulldozer Sherman. Need to retreat the force because again needs more infantry. Luoppis, the infantry, the infanterie. Almost got the anti-tank into a wipe though, which would certainly allow the Panther IV. He's going for a second one. He is going for a second Panzer IV there again. Gives a bit more force that way, but certainly also some vulnerabilities. But it's a lot more firepower. Certainly on a faster level, but he still needs more infantry. And it might also be an idea to at least recruit some of those anti-tank guns and support his Panzer IV versus the M10s and whatnot from Dberlatto. Blenkerb against the Bulldozer Sherman, Panzerfaust against it. Again, moving ahead, we got the M10 watching the road. Panzer IV is good to go, but by the looks of it, he's waiting for the second Panzer IV before attacking, in which case that's tactically not a bad move. I mean, certainly in some ways you can do more damage with the Panzer IV now, but if there's two out at the same time supporting each other, that's going to be a lot more strength in those numbers. It's going to be a lot harder to lose them unless he does something really, really silly. And I was going to hit the Panzer IV anyways. It's not like he's waiting for it, it seems. So I'm not entirely sure what Luoppis is planning here all of a sudden. Maybe he's just feeling just stressed out, tired, and struggling to maintain pace. But anyway, second Panzer IV they're arriving. So Luoppis now has two Panzer IVs out in the field. Wrecking the anti-tank gun. Oh! Rifle squad, wiped. Other one, unable to recruit the anti-tank gun. Holy moly. 31 kills. That Stufus is paying itself off nicely by now. He's actually been pretty good at using it. And that's something good for Luoppis as well. But there you go, M10 going to try and flank the Panther Force here. Jürgen got stuck in the Panther Force stretch, and there you go. Penetrating hit on the Panther Force from the M10, and it's a 3-inch gun. Which was briefly considered for the Sherman tanks, by the way. But was dropped out because, well, as it turns out, the gun couldn't fit in the Sherman without, you know, making the turret bigger, and initially they didn't have that. So they waited, and then they sort of ended up sticking in a bigger gun anyways. Slightly bigger. Not a lot bigger, just a bit. Of course, the Brits, on the other hand, just decided to stick in the 17-pounder gun no matter what, which gave them some issues. But there you go, another M10 up for Dberlatto. Luoppis, on the other hand, is making a bit of a mistake there by splitting up his Panther Force, and under such circumstances, rather risky. Need to keep those Panther Force together, and there goes Sherman, almost wipes the entire Volkskommando squad in a single hit. We got more assault news by here for Dberlatto now. Bet you two on the bulldozer Sherman. We got the M10s working together. Good work. Moving up towards here. Lieutenant pushed back by the Obersoldaten. Could lay down some booby traps there. That'd be, I think, a pretty good choice here. And assault engineers recruiting that mortar rapidly. Panther 4 good to go again. But Stukas was half fate to veterancy 3. Both Panther 4 seem to be moving towards the same spot. Good. You might want to pull back that mortar crew a bit faster there. Just a bit. No booby traps. He really would benefit from a few. There you go. Panther Force advancing, catching the light infantry gun again. Onto that, light infantry gun's been doing more for Dberlatto than it has for Luoppis, but standing in, so did Dberlatto's flamethrower for Luoppis. And there you go, M10's attacking. Panther Force need to fire back. Oh, missed. Good hit there. Damaging one of the Panther Force. Anti-tank guns. Ah, no, we need to be seen. Also, good job there by Dberlatto, focusing down the Panther Force one by one, increasing firepower one that way, you know, further building towards his numbers. He's also quickly pulling back the other one. Kedmev, he's being pushed ahead here. Panther Force bounces a shot there from the M10. Needs to prioritise the M10s. Luoppis. Panzerjäger. Almost. Both Panther Force missed the M10, but then the M10's also been missing the Panther Force rather consistently. Shot bounced. Message on the Panther 4. Holy moly. Luoppis actually gets out of that one. Both players, I would say, rather got lucky there in some weird ways. But I think primarily the beneficiary here was Luoppis, who really got lucky in some ways, most than anyone. But again, so did Dberlatto somewhat. Better feeling like Kedmev, Panther 4 being pulled back. He still needs more infantry. He's actually gained back a lot of the map here. And I think actually trying to rush out a Yak Panzer then as soon as possible to support the Panther Force would be the best choice. Again, just more rate of fire on that thing, plus range. It could that way, you know, help wrestle those M10 tank destroyers, which could basically then threaten Luoppis' armour again. Not enough, he's not been upgrading his infantry at all. Not been upgrading it at all. He's also fielding a lot. Is he saving up for Syrian artillery? That'd be pretty unique. Fixing up the Panther 4 there though. Could go for the Yak Panzer, could go for 3rd Panther 4. I mean, that could also work as long as he works them together. But of course, that requires him not losing the other one then, because it's now more isolated. So far, no sign anything there though from Luoppis. Might be setting up for a Panther. That would also be a good deal there. Go Rifleman up, taking a hit there from the Panther 4. We got artillery there. He's calling in soon. Artillery on the centre there. He's calling it in. Panther 4 needs to be careful here. M10's bullets from advancing. Kedmev setting up here. Panther 4 needs to fall back. 3rd Panther 4 on the way there though. Artillery raining down all over the place. I don't think Dberlatto's quite aware that it's actually Syrian artillery called in there. Force advancing. Artillery raining down there. Almost seeing this jump. Panther 4 needs to get away. Get away. Lost it. Mistake there by Luoppis tactically. Panther 4 should have been positioned better. Should have pulled out faster. And should, you know, had like Kedmev in a better position to cover it overall. Instead, we got Artillery just going down. They're almost knocking out the Sherman, actually. It's almost knocked out. It's going to be able to finish off with the Pantherforce, except it doesn't have the munitions for it. Rifleman wiped out. Oh! Holy moly, almost got a lot of Dberlatto's armor there. Almost, but not quite. Got the Pantherforce there on the move. Another bulldozer Sherman. The Dberlatto is now flooding the field there with a lot of armor and tank destroyers. And Luoppis' infantry is looking pretty bad. Stuka's footballers look good to fire, but it's also rather exposed. Luoppis needs to be really careful here. Almost 52 on the other Pantherforce until moving up there. Straight good hit there. Pull back the Pantherforce. Luoppis 9. It's not King Tiger. Oh, scheisse. Missed and lost the Pantherforce. You should have just waited for the second one, Luoppis. Luoppis, you Dummkopf. There, you almost got one M10. He's now just lost 2 Pantherforces engaged. They're very much more favourable for Dberlatto. Even if he gets now 1 M10, maybe he gets a boat. He's going to suffer a lot more, you know, than Dberlatto there. I mean, Luoppis is really much more striking just for everything in terms of losses. They can't really maintain these losses much longer against Dberlatto. But again, he's back in map control overall, but he's lost a lot of Pantherforce and overall a lot of armor. Stuka's first unleashing hell there against Dberlatto and the 2nd Infantry. He could consider pack for the 3 maybe. Didn't get the lightning gun in and did get that shed. That shed had been deserving it. It was rumoured to hide down Allied pilots trying desperately to get back to safe territory. Luoppis would have none of that. Anyways, more focus on the way for him. Jagdpanzer, pack for the 3 I think is arguably necessary, but even then with all the artillery Dberlatto has it. And he could knock out that pack for the 3 easily. His Stukas was all the way up there. The black event attack momentum for Luoppis is definitely getting a lot of strength there to Dberlatto's bulldozer Shermans. $95 versus 216. Fult's gonna do is almost being wiped out here. Almost annihilated. And there's little that Pantherforce can really do to assist immediately. In particular with the tank destroyer, the old rates rationing and deal a lot of nasty damage. Got like kidnap there. Pantherforce they're striking, but they will struggle a bit there with the bulldozer Sherman. Actually misses it. And the Stukas foot exposed. Ah! Luoppis. Pantherforce trying to move, but it's going to be too late. He's going to focus it down. He's going to prioritise. He's still moving. Ah, he stopped moving. He's trying to manage too much there. Ah. Huge loss there for Luoppis. Huge loss. His Stukas are first. And Dberlatto is just quickly fleshing out his forces wherever he can get his hands on. He did get the M10. But really, Luoppis has suffered heavy armor losses now and vehicular losses. And he's just quickly calling in a replacement. A Kedden effort silenced once more. Also on there, Veterinary Fireball, they're about to get annihilated. There you go, Veterinary 3 bulldozers Sherman. Need to retreat. And then wiped. Ah, Luoppis. His unit preservation is increasingly struggling, I think, as the game progressing, so he might not quite have the stamina for such a long fight, because he's certainly increasingly making a lot of less than good moves, and now he's spamming a lot of full screens when he just needs more armor to take on his opponent's armor, because always again, that bulldozer Sherman is just going to evaporate all the infantry, again thanks to the high rate of fire and accuracy. So right here, Luoppis seems to be very much struggling again. He's still got a large chunk of the map, but victory points wise he's bleeding out, and again manpower wise he's desperately bleeding out. Dberlatto following up with anti-tank guns. I mean, Luoppis got plenty of fuel, but he just manpower-wise is behind. Badly. It's going to be pretty close if Luoppis wins. It's going to be pretty close by now. But he's also gotten a lot of Dberlatto more veteran info, though of course Dberlatto overall preserves it better. And ultimately doesn't quite throw away as many of his units, while he might in some ways be less, again, tactically sneaky and all that. He's a lot more stable. Well, Captain Wing got full, they're just charging head on, they're taking heavy damage there. Double bullet of Shermans, just punishing there. Panther looking for this one, we're going to get an M10 ready to hit the flank, though he's not going for it. Luoppis can soon go for a Panther, he could also try and set up for the King Tiger, though that would be quite far off, but I suppose he could be one of his few options versus Dberlatto now. There you go, advantage on the Panther 4. Engage here with the M10. Looks like he's aiming for the King Tiger, and he's got the fuel, he's almost got the manpower, so he could go for the King Tiger now. But just needs to, of course, keep the manpower expenditures a bit on hold. Which again might also be difficult because again he needs to keep pressing, he needs to sort of keep fighting for the victory points. So he might in that sense not be able to afford it because that might just put him beyond range of salvation in terms of the DPs he has to wait for that long. But then again it would also help if he uses infantry just a bit more smartly and efficiently now. Lieutenant for Dberlatto. Bit of more quality infantry, sort of cheaper off the bat there in that sense. Panther 4 good to go again. Of course still has to mind any sort of corners when M10 could attack from. But yeah, he's going for the King Tiger. He's very close though, he's very close. And so Dberlatto doesn't have that much anti-tank firepower, so he might be able to pull it off. And there you go, he can call it in, he can call it in. Do it, Luoppis! Königstiger, schnell! Panther 4, they're going after the damage. M10, we got the bulldozer doing ahead there. King Tiger arriving there, rolling out. Got another barway, Syrian artillery barrage ready. Almost got the M10 there, but the M10's almost got it down to half health as well. Can he get the M10 here? Gets it! King Tiger advancing as fast as he can. An actual King Tiger was reasonably fast, actually. I think roughly around the speed of a Sherman tank. That's a fun fact there. There we go. Wipe the rifle squad. Almost got the anti-tank gun. Panther 4 there, super close to T3. The cannon rifle wipe. Need to get the Panther 4 fixed up. I need to support the King Tiger as well with infantry. Need to push to the centre victory point. Down to 50 points versus Dberlatto. Just doing everything he can to defend. We got a demo charging away on the point as well. They're clever, clever. Again, you don't expect a demo charge from the Americans, and certainly not this late into the game. So Dberlatto there's rather, I think, pulled a very sort of double sneak there on Luoppis. We got Syrian until called in to sort of try and saturate and push away Dberlatto from defending the centre here. Almost got one of those bulldozer Shermans. Artillery raining down the anti-tank gun. But obviously the assault engine is still wiped out if he's not careful. Mr. Dberlatto that is. Fulton's moving ahead. There we go, wipe the anti-tank gun. Fulton they're being pushed back. Almost hooked up with their own artillery. Assault is there. Wiped out as well. Fulton's moving towards the victory point again. There's barely an inch left. There you go. He's going to move in. He's going to move in. Right by the demo charge. And there you go. Almost wiped here. Artillery running down there. King Tiger versus Shermans. 36 points versus 192. But there you go. Northern victory point being scored by the Lieutenant. And the Fult's going to do is get wiped. Barely any infantry left now for Luoppis. And again, that's where Dberlatto is not lacking. Plus again, he can just pop the crews out of his vehicles if he has to. So now it's 32 points left. Luoppis will be bleeding freely versus Luoppis. Even if Luoppis got the armor edge now, he doesn't have any infantry barely left to do anything with. Moving up towards here, Lieutenant nearby. Again, he's got grenades and lights. And a bulldozer German nearby to support. He can't afford to wait, needs to push forwards. Tanks moving up here again to fight for the center. 22 points left here. 22 versus 192. The excellence annihilated. And up north, there we go. Fulton's in a lot of trouble here. Now they're going to get annihilated. It's still too late for now to push ahead there. And 14 points left. Further pushing up here with the Pantherful and the King Tiger, annihilating what's left of Dberlatto's support elements here. Doesn't matter because he's only down to 1 infantry squad now. And again, he needs to grab a lot of points. It's GG here for Luoppis. It is GG. I mean, he fought valiantly, but ultimately there were a few issues as the game progressed. So there you go, GG, game over. Brutal fight here, a slug out with a lot of casualties on both sides. A lot of casualties, again, about, almost 600 dead. So really brutal fight here. A lot of casualties on both sides. Some smart play from both players. Again, Luoppis standing up very aggressively, very smartly. But ultimately, as the game progressed, there was a few strategic issues, sort of strategic level issues, plus his unit preservation. Rather cost him a lot there. Ultimately allowing Dberlatto to get back into the game, and overall Dberlatto then performed overall a lot more stable and sort of not just stably. Again, he was just, might less be able to pull off some really clever moves, but then he was just more consistent. There we go, consistently able to pull off, sensible moves that also just pushed him ahead. Luoppis as the game went on. He also played, I think, on a strategic level better than Luoppis. So again, Luoppis, in many ways, clever player, but needs to work on his unit preservation for starters, but also notable to make some other good decisions here and there versus Dberlatto. So, really interesting fight, though. Really interesting fight. I think some good elements to learn from. So, there you go, though. Hope you enjoyed this match. Hope you learned something from it. If you did, want to subscribe, tell a friend, just share it with everyone. If not, send in a replay of your own, provide some feedback in the comment section. This is Imperial Dancing. Cheers. Thank you for watching. Hope to see you all tomorrow for another signing episode. Bye.